You know, I find if I don't keep my Alice in the fridge, it sours pretty fast. Sorry. Tonight on Downton Abbey.
In class, it's not so bad.
I think the guy on the left is on the 10-year plan.
Well, if you're what they call a shy guy, that's when you really feel it.
So why do you think they built our school next to a helicopter landing
You
pad?
don't know how to make people like you, and you find yourself holding a grudge against them.
You want them to hurt.
You're standing on the outside looking in. You might have something to contribute to their
Speedball's 2
conversation,
for 1.
but nobody cares whether you do or not. There's a barrier, and you don't know how to begin breaking it down. You imagine they keep watching the way you look, the way you act.
You're paranoid,
They think you're different.
which you are.
So you head for home. What else? But still, you can't forget that you're alone, an outsider.
George McFly crams for his technical school final.
Hello, Phil. How's everything?
Oh, okay, I guess, Dad.
Your record transmitter, microphone.
Resistor radio thingy or whatever.
I know it isn't either. I can't figure out where to connect in the oscillator. I know I have to connect it into the amplifier, but where? It just doesn't fit in.
Why not store and get more information? And by the way, how are things going in school?
I feel a metaphor coming on.
Okay, Dad. But school here isn't like it was back in Morris.
Wait for it.
Well, you know, son, maybe school is like your radio.
Bingo!
This oscillator will do its work well. But as you said, you still have to fit it in.
That's
so
what
it
she
can
said,
work with all
Dad.
the other thoughts.
I know what you're driving at, Dad, but I don't think I ever will fit in. Not here. I'm different from the guys in this town.
I like
Well, as
boys.
far as that goes, Phil, everybody's different. That's what makes people interesting.
Maybe.
You know,
I'm not your real dad.
when we moved here this summer, I had quite a time making friends in a new office where everybody else knew each other.
What'd you do, Dad?
Well, that's beside the point, son.
Your mother and I
What works for
joined a
one
swingers
doesn't
club.
necessarily work for another.
But I bet the other men didn't look at your clothes all the time.
Well, what makes you think they look at your clothes?
I see them looking at
Because the
my
other fellas
clothes.
wear sweaters or just shirts. Not a regular suit like mine.
Well, wear a sweater then. But clothes
Queer
are all
eye
wrong.
for the shy guy.
Phil, what about the other fellows? What do they do?
Are they communists?
What do they like?
Gosh, Dad, I don't know. I never noticed.
I don't care about other people.
Only I know it's not radios.
Perhaps that's the reason you don't know. You don't notice what the others are interested in. Why not try to find out?
How, Dad?
Well, you might try watching, listening.
Wiretapping?
Pick out the most popular boys and girls in school and keep an eye on them.
Follow them home.
Try to figure out why people like them. Not that you'll ever be just like any of them.
You'll always be a
but you might
freak.
learn something. Well, see you at dinner.
Wow, Dad touched me for the second time this year.
Well, there's an idea. Maybe a good idea. Worth a try, anyway.
Sam.
And tomorrow's not too soon to start.
Oh, why can't I just be homeschooled in my basement?
Pick out the most popular boys and girls in school and keep an eye on them. Who are they now? Some of them are right here in this class.
There's one.
Andy McIntyre, for instance. People like him, all right.
Anthony Michael Hall?
Chick Gallagher rates high in popularity, too.
I checked the stats myself.
There's Jane Davenport. She's popular with boys and girls.
If you get my drift.
And Jack Gilbert. What's he got that makes people like him so much?
Oh, he's the campus drug dealer.
Andy's got something to say, and Jack's listening.
Hey, could you turn down your inner voice? We're trying to have a
Come
conversation.
to think of it, Jack's always interested in what people are talking about. Maybe that's why he hits it off so well with everybody.
He seldom has an original thought.
Anyhow, Andy thinks he's a great guy. No, that's too easy. Just listening.
Every problem must have a complicated solution, like my broken radio.
Well, Jane's caught on to the same thing. She's listening. Hearing about Helen's collection of menus. And liking it.
Boy,
That
is
makes
she
her
liking
in
it.
with Helen. Maybe there is something in this business of being a good listener.
Maybe I'll start my own collection of menus.
Still, There must be more to getting along with people than just wearing a sweater and listening.
Maybe you also have to leave your basement on occasion and not be creepy. Everybody drop your book at exactly 2 o'clock.
What's the matter, Bob? Handle stuck?
Yeah, I can't get it open.
Oh, here, let me try. Check to some of these.
Nice ass.
There. Gee, thanks a lot, Chick.
Halfway through the semester and he's still
Now,
having
why
trouble
didn't you
opening
think
his
of that?
locker?
Chick's always doing things for people. And it pays off in friends.
I once
Boy,
played a
sure
slot
is one
machine that
tough
paid
issue
off in
that we have
Friends.
for Friday. Wish I could find some good outside reading material.
I found a swell book that covers everything Miss Carson wants us to know. It's called the,
Treatise on
Meditation
Angular
Monarchism by Henry
Pompadours.
Darrow. You can get it at the library.
I'm sure glad you told me about it. I'll get it this afternoon. Thanks a lot, Bob.
It's okay, Chick.
Stay out of my world.
You dope. You knew about that book. You would have been the guy
I think
that helped
Albert
the
Ellis
guy.
would call this negative self-talk.
There it is again. Even when you bump into people, they hardly know you're alive.
Here's your 3 vials of Dilaudid, Mr. Dillon. Now, please, just leave me alone.
You're alone, bud. Alone in the crowd. But keep looking around. Try to find out what the score is.
Rams are up by
Look at
6.
Jack and Beezy over there. Girls seem to like them. Why? What's the angle? They do act kind of polite. At least they seat the girls and give their orders to the waiter.
So that's how
They're
restaurant
a lot
ordering
like some
works.
other guys.
Cherry Coke, chocolate Coke, milkshake, and malt. Double chocolate malt. Okay.
Whoa, gee. Sugar, please. I've got the orders from my table. Just help me out during rush hour, Bob.
Gee, thanks a lot, Chick. That's swell.
Okay, Bob.
Why don't you just pay my tip to yourself while you're at it?
Being helpful again.
I can't quite decide. I really haven't quite decided I love the way it tastes.
Hey, don't tell me you two are still talking clothes. Was it the plot that squelched
Girls
all
like to
male
talk about
presence?
clothes and guys don't. Get it? What is that? Here you are, 1 miniature pipe bomb. We need you to wipe down our table. You work here, right? Say, do you know anybody cool we can invite to sit here?
Pretty good. Come on. Hello, everybody. Okay. We men need some support to run down this girlish chatter. Gee, you want them all, don't you? Yo, Bob. The topic under discussion is the mixer next Friday night at school. Go ahead.
Looks like he and Chick are tenderly holding
I don't
hands.
know, Chick. I haven't got a date yet. Well, grab yourself a girl and come along.
Caveman
Not gonna be a real
dating.
party, just a class getting together for some fun. I'd like to, Chick. Yeah, I sure would.
If you really want to turn him on, wiggle your nose. Believe it or not, for him this constitutes scoring.
Yeah, sure would be something to take Mary Lou to the mixer. Wonder if she
Hey,
already
why did the
has
power
it.
go out up here?
Well, how's the oscillator coming along?
Hi, Dad.
Oh, you know,
Oh,
it's
I
the
haven't
usual
quite got it
back and
working yet.
forth.
But you know that other business we were talking about?
Getting late?
Well, I've been following your advice.
How about it? Find out anything?
Yeah, Dad, I think I did. It looks like people who get along best with other people are,
Not psychopaths.
the people who think about the other guy. They make a point of listening to what others have to say and watching for ways to do things for them, being polite toward them. Do you suppose it's
So all this so he can learn that the key to making friends is being nice to people
Well,
and not
perhaps
being a
that's right.
cloistered, self-absorbed
Maybe the best
asshole.
way to find out is to
Nice.
try it next chance you get.
You know, Dad, there's a mixer Friday night. I wasn't going to go, but in the drugstore the other day, Chick said I ought to come.
Good idea, Phil.
Always do what Chick
Well,
says.
Dad, there is a girl I'd like to take, if Mary Lou Wright. But I'm not sure she'd go with me. Never even talked to her. I'd probably fall all over myself.
Does their basement double as a barn?
Popular. She's probably got a date by now.
Well, it is pretty late to ask a girl. Why don't you just go stag?
Dressed as
You
a male
needn't worry
deer?
about doing anything wrong, Phil. You act all right. Just do and say whatever seems most natural.
It's worked up till now.
Maybe it will be easier after I've had a chance to talk to her at the mixer.
Now let's bring that metaphor full circle.
You know what? I kind of think this is going to fit in after all.
Oh, that's real good. So is this where the underclass mixes with the middle class and the vanguard of the proletariat?
Well, this is it.
That collar is 30 years ahead of its time.
Oh, there's Mary Lou. She did come with another guy.
Slut.
Easy Barnes. What now?
Public domain, that's where we nabbed this song. It was penned by Stephen Foster, who's been dead for oh so long.
They're breaking up the piano game.
Here we see Beezy, leader of the infamous piano gang.
Look at Beezy, listening first to one boy, then another.
Weasel.
Funny the way people flock around a good listener.
He's using that apple the way Henny Youngman uses his
Talking
violin.
about radios. That's right down your alley.
That's the
They're
only
asking
thing
Beezy
that's
about
down your alley.
Penny stock.
The radio conundrum is ruining the party for Beezy.
But she just a butt in.
Besides, he'd probably just get the answer from some message board after the party.
Beezy's still stuck. He really needs help. Help.
I need somebody.
That's it.
Help! A radio expert. Help!
An offer of help. That's welcome anywhere. It's not hard to fit yourself into a conversation.
Just interrupt.
A mention of a similar problem in connection with the record player.
You know, today these
They're
would be the
interested
kids
in that
debating
record
which
player.
version of Advanced Warfare has a better campaign mode.
They are interested in that shy guy. They know he's alive now. And, strangely enough, he's just discovered that they're alive.
He just discovered the concept of menage a trois.
Of course they'd like to see the record player.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they'll come over.
Right.
Tomorrow afternoon.
I think this is where we find out he's been dreaming the whole thing.
And connect the oscillator into the amplifier, and everything will fit in.
Like my dad's
Bill,
metaphor.
could you have it ready by next week and bring it over to my house?
I guess so.
Some of the gang's coming over Thursday night, and we could have a lot of fun with
Does it vibrate?
You will come, won't you?
Can I come
Well,
too?
one shy guy is on his way. Not that his worries are over. He'll still have his moments of doubt, of hesitation,
Paranoia.
of fear that he might do something
A
wrong.
well-founded fear.
But he can face these problems now because he knows that he's not really different. And while he's discovered only
You
a few
know,
of
back
many
then a
ways
Coke
to
party meant
overcome
something
science,
very different.
he's discovered that it can be done. And that's the main thing, isn't it?
Well, this short should at least fund his studio apartment in Top Ramen until they create Bewitched. Sam!